Hey there, all you cryptids, creatures, and everything in between. Welcome to the channel. I'm taking a look at ChatGPT today. I've never actually used it, and I'm excited to see what it's like. So, I guess first I'm going to do like a story. I've had this idea that I wanted to do for this video. I came up with it a couple weeks ago, and let's see. I've seen little videos about this. Oh wow, this is quite slow for you. Is this all right? Should I do Skinwalker or Wendigo? I'm going to do Skinwalker. Let's see what it gives me. Okay. And remember, once I write all this, I plan on recording it properly. So I'll actually upload a file. Maybe I'll upload a separate video to YouTube where I read the whole thing without video commentary. Okay. All right. All right. It's a decent bit. Strange roommate. Once upon a time, there was a college student named Jane who moved into a dormitory on campus. She was excited to start a new chapter in her life and eager to meet her new roommate. However, she soon realized that her roommate, Emily, was a bit different than she expected. Okay, alright. At first, Emily seemed like a normal person. She was friendly, outgoing, and always up for a good time. But as the weeks went on, Jane began to notice strange things happening around her. Objects would move on their own, strange noises would echo through the room at night, and the air would sometimes feel thick with unexplained energy. Jane didn't want to jump to conclusions, but she couldn't shake the feeling that something was off about Emily. One day, she decided to confront her roommate about her suspicions. Emily, is there something you need to tell me? Jane asked tentatively. Emily looked up from her book and raised an eyebrow. What do you mean? She asked. Well, I've noticed some strange things happening around our room lately, and I can't help but wonder if it has something to do with you, Jane explained. Emily didn't say anything for a moment. She simply stared at Jane with an intense look on her eyes. Then, without warning, her body began to contort and twist in a way that no human body should be able to. Jane watched in horror as Emily's feature morphed into that of a wild animal. Her skin turned coarse and fur covered her entire body. She let out a guttural growl and lunged at Jane, paws bared. Jane screamed and scrambled to get away, but Emily was too fast. She chased Jane around the room, knocking over furniture and tearing at anything in her way. Finally, Jane managed to escape and run out of the room, heart racing. From that day on, Jane never went back to her dormitory. She dropped out of college and moved far away, determined to forget the terrifying experience she had with her skinwalker roommate. He never spoke of it again, and she hoped that she would never have to face the horrors of the supernatural world again. Okay, that was actually like a story. That was a whole story. That's actually really cool. Um, I guess oh, I know it is. Go away. Shut up, window. That was actually really. I'm gonna compliment it. Yeah, no, it was good. That's pretty cool. I, I don't want to. No, I don't. No, it was great. No, I'm not. No. saying anything. Can't have my data in a Facebook group. A lot of fun. It's called Car Club, where everybody pretends to be boomers. It's so much fun. Every now and then there's a post that pops up and it says something along the lines of, "Oh, I don't give Facebook permission to take my data." Type, "I don't give permission to take my data" in the comments to prevent Facebook from selling your data. And it's just a bunch of people. It's hilarious. A bunch of people pretend to be an old man. Boy, I'm glad my lighting is fucking tripping out the camera. Whatever. All right, let's do another story. Let's do another story. Oh God, I should do a poll on Twitter to see what y'all want to see. Give me a second to. Oh my. Okay, how about? Write a story. Oh, caps lock. Look at me go. You know what? You can deal with caps lock. I don't care. Write a story about a boomer using an iPad. I look like I'm being really sarcastic. Write a story. Classic SpongeBob meme with the beak. All right. Oh, this looks like it's going to actually be like a positive story. Look at this. Okay, all right. Once upon a time, there was an older gentleman named Jack, who was often referred to as a boomer. Jack was a man of his generation and had always been a bit skeptical of new technology. He had never owned a computer, and he had always preferred to read books and newspapers instead of browsing the internet. But one day, Jack's granddaughter came to visit him and gave him an iPad as a gift. At first, Jack was hesitant to use the device. He fumbled with the buttons and swipes, struggling to understand how it all worked. But his granddaughter patiently walked him through the basics, showing him how to access the internet and download apps. As Jack began to explore the iPad, he realized that there was a whole new world at his fingertips. He could watch videos of his favorite TV shows, read news articles from around the world, and even play games like chess and solitaire. He was amazed at how much he could do with just a few taps of his finger. As Jack became more comfortable with the iPad, he began to use it for all sorts of things. He downloaded a recipe app and started cooking new meals for himself, using the iPad as his guide. He even started using social media to connect with old friends and share photos of his travels. As time went on, Jack found that the iPad had opened up a whole new world of possibilities for him. He was able to learn new skills, stay connected with loved ones, and explore his interest in ways he never thought possible. He had finally overcome his skepticism of new technology and embraced the many benefits it had to offer. In the end, Jack realized that it was never too late to try something new. With a little bit of patience and determination, he had been able to adapt to a new way of living and discovered a whole new world of enterprises. Experiences, oh my god. This is pretty much what old people do. They watch videos of TV shows, read the news, and play chess or solitaire. That's my grandparents have an iPad. I think it's a second generation. It's a wonder that the thing still works. They pretty much have to play it just plugged in because the battery is done for. Done for. But all they do is sit there and play solitaire on it. All the time. I think my grandpa has like a Sudoku game on it. Sudoku? However you say it. Well then, that sure is a story. Wasn't a very that sure was a story. What else can I say? Give me a couple minutes. I'm going to come up with one more, and then we're going to call it a day. All right. So I came up with a new one. I came up with I talked to some friends and they said something about a Viking, and I said, write a story about God, big dumb fingers. A Viking who falls in love with a werewolf. How about that? You know what? While it writes, I just off this wonderful mod that I found a little silver paint pen and decided to, change that up just a little bit. Yes, my camera is reversed. It makes things easier for me. Whee. Boy, I've ruined everything. Oh, wow. Okay. This is almost done, right? I hope it's almost done. I'm not even going to read it. I'm going to let it finish and I'm going to let it write the whole thing out and then we're going to read it. I have to thank my friend Dixie for this one. She came up with the Viking thing and I was like, okay, all right. What else can we do? All right, there's our story. There's our story. In the days of old, when the world was still young, there lived a brave Viking warrior named Ragnar. He was feared by his enemies and revered by his people, for he was a man of great strength and courage. But despite his many victories in battle, Ragnar had never known love. That is, until he met the werewolf. It happened one night when Ragnar was out on a hunting trip with his men. They had set up camp near a forest, and Ragnar had gone out to gather firewood. As he wandered through the trees, he heard a rustling in the bushes. He drew his sword and prepared for battle, but what emerged from the brush was not a foe, but a beautiful woman. She had long, flowing hair, the color of the moon, and her eyes were bright with an otherworldly light. But what truly set her apart was her lupine features, a snout, sharp teeth, and a coat of fur covering her entire body. Ragnar was startled at first, but then he felt a strange attraction to her. The woman, or rather the werewolf, explained that she had been cursed to live in this form and could only turn human during the full moon. Okay. She had been wandering the forest alone for many years, feared and shunned by humans and other creatures alike. But something about Ragnar drew her in, and she found herself drawn to him despite her instincts telling her to stay away. Ragnar was equally drawn to her. He found himself captivated by her beauty and her fierce spirit. He knew that their love was forbidden, and that he would face great opposition from his people if he were to pursue it, but he could not resist the pull he felt towards her. The two began a secret love affair, meeting in the forest under the light of the full moon. They talked for hours, sharing stories of their lives and their dreams. They knew that their love could not last forever. They were determined to enjoy it while they could. Unfortunately, their happiness was short lived. One night, while they were together, they were discovered by a group of Ragnar's men. The men were horrified at the sight of the werewolf and saw her as a monster to be destroyed. They attacked her, but Ragnar stood in their way, defending his love with all his might. In the end, Ragnar and the werewolf were outnumbered, and they were both killed in the struggle. But their love had been true and strong, and it lived on even after they were gone. Their story was told for generations to come, a testament to the power of love, no matter how usual or unexpected. Oh my god, that was precious. That was really sweet. It was sad, but it was really sweet. Also, very interesting. It's kind of a reverse werewolf. Human in the light of the full moon. Wild. Oh my god, that was so good. All right, I gotta send that to Dixie. We're gonna just whoop. And I hope y'all enjoyed that. That was three very fun little AI generated stories. I think I'm gonna do this again because this was a lot of fun. Stay safe out there. Hide in the shadows.